Welcome back to Crypto Meets AI. Jerry here with an update for you. Do me a favor, friends. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. Now let's get into this. What if XRP wasn't made for today, but for the crisis no one is ready to talk about? Ripple built a system that only becomes essential when banks freeze, liquidity dries up, and money stops moving. Almost like they designed a global failsafe before the world even knew they needed one. Every major liquidity event since 2012, XRP's design fits it perfectly, too perfectly. Why create a solution for a problem that didn't exist yet, unless the problem was already known by a few? Is XRP the break glass in case of an emergency asset for the future banking collapse? Or is this all one big coincidence? What do you see here, preparation or prophecy? And we all know I don't believe in coincidences. Now on to some Jake Claver insights. You only have to get rich once. So my buddy's cousin drives Uber in Orlando, picks up this family from Disney World. You can tell immediately they have money, the clothes, the way they carry themselves. He's driving them back to their hotel and he starts catching pieces of their conversation in the back seat.
Tell you a story that I was told not too long ago. This is a good friend of mine. I believe him nameless. He has a cousin that's a Uber driver, and he picked up this affluent family. You could tell that they had money just by the clothes that they were wearing, and he's driving back to the hotel in Orlando because they were at Disney World, and he gets to hear him talk a little bit in the back seat, and he starts to talk to him a little bit. I don't even know if I should say the name of the family. It's a well-known food brand that you would know. You have eaten some of their singles in your lifetime. They have a substantial amount of XRP. A lot of these people that you just mentioned are starting to wake up to this fact. We've had conversations recently with some very large family offices that have started to make significant allocations. There's only 7 million wallets, 7.4 million wallets on the XRPL. If you're here, do you know how rare that is? Like, there's 8 billion people on the planet, and there's only 7, we'll call it 8 million wallets. There's 8 billion people on the planet. There's 8 million wallets. How many Bitcoin wallets are there? There's a lot of Bitcoin wallets at this point. A lot of people own Bitcoin. Not that many people own XRP. Half those wallets are less than 100 XRP. Not that much XRP. It might be one day. Post price appreciation could be a lot of money. But anyway, here, the other thing is people that have already made a bunch of money. Do you know what their primary objective is? It's return of capital, wealth preservation. They're not going to take exorbitant risks or roll the dice on things with significant amounts of money to put themselves in a position to lose. You should only have to get rich once, okay? And they understand that. So this whole asset class is still risky to them. It's the Wild West. They're not even going to look at it. 62% of family offices have no allocation nor intention of making an allocation to crypto. 38% of family offices, $16 trillion globally out of the 10,000 plus family offices. There's 4 trillion of that are even looking at this asset class. Maybe 5 trillion out of 16. And those are the people that made their money through high risk return, investments by starting companies or, doing something very lucrative in order to be able to generate, $1 billion exit. If those people aren't willing to do it, and people, again, the people that have the money, they don't care to risk it. They've already made their money. So that's why, there aren't more. But there are starting to be. I'm literally having a lot of conversations here recently because they see it as a hedge against the losses that could potentially come from the reverse carry trade because of a lot of the information I've put out. Those are the conversations that I'm having now. It's not about, I'm going to make a bunch of money. It's how do I preserve my wealth and use this as a uncorrelated bet that it's going to hedge against the losses that I'm going to see from this other stuff unwinding. They're not dumping all, $1 billion that they have into XRP. They're preserving their wealth. And I think that's a mindset shift that a lot of people are going to have post-price appreciation. And again, sorry to get on a soapbox here for people, but, rolling it all on one thing, I view wealth creation and wealth preservation like a tree. You're going to plant a seed. You're going to water that seed. That's all you're going to do for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. And that tree is going to grow. And it's going to have a big trunk that's the core thesis of your investment, whether that's your business or an investment or some other way to be able to generate substantial value in society. That's the core, the trunk. It's going to grow big and tall, and it's going to bear fruit, and it's going to spread out when it bears fruit. Okay, you're going to have all these branches, and that's your diversification into other stuff to be able to hedge losses. If one side of the tree gets hit by lightning, this tree still lives because it's, got branches in other sectors, okay, that are going to continue to persist beyond just this one part of the tree dying. If it gets a fungus, there's a bunch of things that could happen, right? But that is wealth preservation at scale is you've generated, your core is still there. You still have a big, strong trunk and maybe a significant allocation in one area, but you have branches that branch off into a bunch of other areas in case part of the tree dies. So hopefully post-price appreciation, you're not going to roll the dice again. Like I stated earlier, you should only have to get rich once.
I don't know about you guys, but I plan on only having to get rich once. DTCC processes over $3.8 quadrillion in annual notional value. Their ION project states clearly, if a digital asset becomes sufficiently liquid, it can be used as collateral across their system. There are only two assets in the world fast and neutral enough, cash and XRP. Now let's move on to some AI with Joe Rogan and NVIDIA's Jensen Huang. I built Elon, the first AI supercomputer, and delivered it to OpenAI myself. Before AI became a trillion-dollar frontier, Jensen said one man saw its potential when no one else would. Elon. That belief, he explained, birthed the first AI supercomputer, an unlikely hand-delivered to a tiny office that would later become OpenAI.
And I was lucky because I'd known Elon, and I helped him build the first computer for Model 3, the Model S. And when he wanted to start working on autonomous vehicle, I helped him build the computer that went into the Model S AV system, his full self-driving system. We were basically the FSD computer version 1. And so we're already working together. And when I announced this thing, nobody in the world wanted it. I had no purchase orders, not one. Nobody wanted to buy it. Nobody wanted to be part of it, except for Elon. He was at the event, and we were doing a fireside chat about the future of self-driving cars. I think it's like 2016. Yeah, maybe at that time it was 2015. And he goes, you know what? I have a company that could really use this. And I said, wow, my first customer. And so I was pretty excited about it. And he goes, yeah, we have this company. It's a nonprofit company. And all the blood drained out of my face. Yeah. I just spent a few $1 billion building this thing. It cost $300,000. And, the chances of a nonprofit being able to pay for this thing is approximately zero. And he goes, this is it's an AI company, and it's a nonprofit, and we could really use one of these supercomputers. And so I picked it up. I built the first one for ourselves. We're using it inside the company. I boxed one up. I drove it up to San Francisco, and I delivered it to Elon in 2016. A bunch of researchers were there. Peter Beal was there. Ilya was there. There was a bunch of people there. And I walk up to the second floor where they were all kind of in a room, this smaller than your place here. And that place turned out to have been OpenAI. 2016.
Wow.
Just a bunch of people sitting in a room.
It's not really nonprofit anymore, though, is it?
They're not nonprofit anymore. Yeah.
Weird how that works.
Yeah. But anyhow, Elon was there. It was really a great moment. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's it.
Look at you, bro. Same jacket.
Look at that. I haven't aged. Not a lick of black hair though.
The size of it is it's significantly smaller. That was the other day.
Okay, so
SpaceX.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, look at the difference. That's
exactly
crazy.
The same industrial design.
He's holding it in his hand.
Here's the amazing thing. DGX-1 was 1 petaflops. Okay, that's a lot of flops. And DGX Spark is 1 petaflops. 9 years later.
Here's a little fun fact for you guys. I'm not sure you guys know, but Elon Musk and Sam Altman had a falling out with OpenAI. Sam Altman wanted to make them not a nonprofit anymore. At that point, Elon Musk walked away from OpenAI and started XAI, which became Grok, specifically to compete with OpenAI. And last up, a global collateral system requires a non-sovereign, highly liquid, instantly settling asset. Gold is too slow. Stablecoins are issuer dependent. CBDCs are domestic. Bitcoin is volatile and slow. XRP is the only asset that meets all institutional prerequisites. Well, that's what I have for you folks. Until next time, stay savvy, stay stacking, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. And if you want more crypto deep dives, check out our videos right here on Crypto Meets AI. Thank you for watching. Remember to always do your own research. This is not financial advice.